My heart bled for her. And I wanted, sincerely from the bottom of my heart, to tell her, Pole, Pole.
Stephen Munyakho's family is racing against time to save his life. They need to raise $950,000 as compensation to stop his execution in Saudi Arabia. The 50-year-old was sentenced to death for manslaughter. He was convicted after he stabbed a Yemeni colleague in retaliation during a workplace altercation in 2011.
His case was determined. He was given 5 years for an equivalent of manslaughter. And we expected him to be inside for maybe 2.5 years in accordance with the international norms, but it was not to be.
After an appeal at the Sharia court, the sentence was changed to the death penalty. That marked the start of Dorothy's fight for her son's life, which included radical suggestions to the authorities.
I told Ibrahim, this is the acting ambassador, is there a way we can exchange so that they execute me and they leave Steve? That was the only sacrifice I could make for my child.
A provision in Sharia law offered a way out. It allows for financial compensation to victims. It is commonly known as blood money or diya. However, it is dependent on the victim's family accepting it. Diya is applied in about 20 countries in the Middle East and Africa, including Sudan and northern Nigeria. Sharia courts have set amounts for blood money.
If anybody kills somebody and is supposed to pay the blood money, he has to pay an equivalent of 100 camels. If anybody is going to pay for the lives that somebody has actually caused to die intentionally or unintentionally, it has to pay 300,000 riyals, which is equivalent to $80,000.
But the amount can vary if the parties go for an out-of-court settlement.
Such a person, depending on his own social status, can pay up to 5 million, up to 10 million riyals, or even more. Because if the person that was killed, for example, is a prince or an educated person, a PhD holder, then the parents or the heirs will say, no, come home and let's settle our problems. And when we settle, we'll go back to the court, and the court will now document that this family have settled their grievances. This is private settlement. It's allowed.
Dorothy says she was first asked to pay about $2.6 million. She negotiated down to $950,000. That amount remains far beyond her family's means. The fundraising continues with the deadline now unclear. There were 172 executions in Saudi Arabia in 2023, according to the government. This includes 6 Africans from Egypt, Sudan, Ethiopia, and Ghana. According to human rights organizations, many foreigners who are executed are unable to raise money for diya. The authorities in Saudi Arabia did not respond to our requests for a comment about Stephen's case, but the family says they've been instrumental in negotiations.
True and almost zero.
Kenya's Foreign Affairs Permanent Secretary Korir Sing'oei said in a statement on X, and I quote, "I'm deeply grateful to inform that authorities in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia have kindly granted our request to postpone the impending execution of Stephen Munyakho to allow for further negotiations between all parties." Stephen was due to be executed on Wednesday, May 15th, 2024. The family says they don't have a new date.